Hey everyone, Johnny Fraser-Allen here. I thought I'd do a video for you guys about how I illustrate and come up with the characters and scenery and stretch goals for our campaign since the Gloaming Kickstarter is running at the moment. I thought I'd feature on these cool tree-ent character wizards we've got going on. Here's 3 different wizard sort of types that have been beautifully modelled and painted. Here's some tree brutes, more of the barbarian sort. And then we've got some tree trolls that are going to lob some boulders at you. Now the process to get them to that level for you starts here with these pencil sketches. Here's a take on some wizards. Here are those tree brutes and trolls in the first concept stage. And here's 3 new ones we're adding as an add-on. We've got a ranger, a necromancer, and the bard. And I thought I'd show you how that all starts. First of all, I have this little Guillermo del Toro book I got at a convention there. And I've spent a couple of years on and off, sitting on the couch, watching something, relaxing, pulling it out, maybe on a train, but I filled every page of this book with studies from my imagination of how to really push what a tree character could be. Whether you call them Ents or Dryads or Shambling Mounds, they're called all sorts of things in the Dungeons and Dragons world. This is just my long attack at trying to, every next illustration when I fill this book has to be something completely different, and I'll push myself in a completely different direction. These aren't finished drawings, not by my standards. These are exercises, every one. And ultimately, by filling this book with all of these different shapes, shape languages, expressions, characters, ideas of how a branch could work to any part of a tree could work, mushrooms even, moss, how that could work to form a character, an attitude, a mood, an expression. I've used this book through everything I've designed in the Gloaming Kickstarter with the character face and much more to pick out things I really like. Some of the characters you'll see in this Kickstarter, there's about 5 or 6 of these pages in one face sometimes, because I love the way a cheekbone sticks out there or a brow does that. And so with that little handy notebook and years worth of practice, I start, after looking through it, I pick out some things that I like. Here I've got there referenced the angry old necromancer sort of a tree. But what I like about him is how the back of his trunk forms like a coat that he stepped out of, like a trench coat, which still looks really tree-ish. You'll see in the final illustration here that I decided to incorporate that into this kind of willowy, siren-like minstrel. Trees have lots of limbs, so I like, when I can, to give my dryads at least 4 limbs. A small pair at the bottom and their main pair at the top. You see, with the main pair here, she is pulling out her willowy hair and plucking it like a harp, which is, very Grecian, which is where the mythology of these kind of creatures first came from, with dryads. And she's also playing the panpipes to extra add to that sort of Roman feeling, mystical fantasy forest. Here's how there's so much detail and takes so long. I mean, this time lapse is about a 5-hour illustration, but you can see you've just kind of, to get less confusing, you've got to start somewhere. So I draw the foreground willow things there, and then add all the details. And that's her taking her place in the party, which we're going to add as another awesome unlockable add-on, so you can get some lady ents, dryads, whatever you want to use them for. I'm really big on not sexualizing fantasy creatures. I hate it when there's a big, awesome, ugly orc, but the woman has to be some kind of sexy She-Hulk. It doesn't make any sense to me. So where I've chosen to put femininity in this, it's more a lady tree rather than a tree lady, So here's the Kickstarter that a lot of you have been backing. We're stoked with how it's going. You can see how everything I'm scrolling down here, every render, every model, that all started with the same pencil illustration that I give to the amazing modelers that we have working with us at Printable Scenery. Lots of cool videos with me and Adam you can check out straight from the Kickstarter or on YouTube. And so when these Kickstarters pick up, you can see the same process here. Every single one of these is several illustrated stretch goals. They take a couple of hours each, but it's more several hours prior to that with the developing what's going to be that stretch goal before I can commit it to paper and draw it. Lots of research often, say with those medieval tents, I want to get those looking realistic before I add my own flair. Yeah, now we're unlocking hand-sculpted things I've worked on for years, which has been a huge unlock for us. And following that up with more and more pencil sketches, we've still got a week to go. There's going to be lots more content for you coming up, including the willowy bard tree dryad. And here we are, here's their models there. So she's going to become one of these add-on packs. Which is going well, and huge response. Everyone's been saying they're our best miniatures yet, and without biasm, I think they're absolutely right. I've also got a YouTube channel I've just started, just a fun, simple little place, and a little Patreon for anyone who wants to see some making of, and you can become your own Tree Dryad character there, first 50 patrons. Thanks so much.